Hey guys, welcome to the video. Thank you for joining. And I hope that you can enjoy what I'm about to share with you and the videos which I intend to start creating for YouTube and also for Patreon, and to just really engage that full capacity of, tuning into all of these various signals and effects of the body, tuning into just how do we really get into an enjoyable, a meaningful, and a practical kind of movement practice. And for me, what I really focus on is the values and virtues of strength, of flow, mobility, and resilience with all of my movement. And I utilize just my body weight and my body awareness and all the things that the body contains, not just the muscles and the bones, but the fascia, the blood, the lymph, the whole gut, following that and listening to that, and the nervous system and the brain, your spatial awareness, all those little things, your balance, all of that in the body is really important to tune into. But there's different things as well, there's the tools and various obstacles and environment that we can use, and tools including things that can assist us in movement, say hanging onto something and getting deeper into a squat pattern where you couldn't do that without hanging before, or even using a weight to actually make that more difficult, or to deepen the amount of adaptation that you're creating for the body, or to use leverage of your body positions, or just the speed, the intensity, the pace, the duration, all those effects that help you get deeper into just being stronger, being able to move through a variety of positions, and to also just feel better in general, feel really good in your body, and to feel like you have the capacity to do things that require strength and skill and presence. So I really focus on, finding new places to explore and move through every day, whether it's, going through the neighborhood a different way, going through trail, and maybe going off trail and finding a fallen tree that presents really cool climbing or balancing opportunity, and always sizing up, what are my skills and how can I do this safely, effectively, and, just spend a little time here. I don't have to, make my whole workout now that tree or whatever. I can go off and run, and I can find another thing too. I can find a bunch of rocks to climb, or a big rock or log to carry, or lift, or just push, or whatever. Trying new things all the time, and you can do that in the trail, in the forest. You can also do that in the city or the town or the park, like finding different structures and obstacles and buildings and things that you can play with, and shapes that you can, move your body through, and finding in those situations also what's safe, and being mindful of the surfaces that you have to land or fall onto, if that were the case. So being able to explore your environment and to feel confident moving through the many things that it offers is really empowering, and it's really fun to get out there and to find new things, or find old things and old obstacles and things that you visit a lot, and to find your unique flow for that day. So I find with getting into flow state, getting into flow and having a more flowing kind of movement practice, one that feels pretty easy to maintain and to and just enjoyable and meaningful and practical to get into. It's like having something of a challenge each day, and that challenge, it ends up bringing you into a more flowing kind of embodiment. And it's because you have to focus enough and bring enough presence into that situation and your body, um, and then you can also get into flow state pretty easily if you one or two or a few movements and just make them into this kind of pattern that now you have the pattern down mentally and physically. You're just repeating it, and then you can really focus a little bit deeper into the details of that pattern, and it becomes involving much less of the analytical mind and more of just your body, your nervous system, and everything, and just your senses, and just being really in that moment. And from there, you can move into other things that feel good and feel flowing. Like you start flow state with something easy and playful and enjoyable. So just bouncing the ball against the wall for a few minutes. And sometimes, some days it'll be a few minutes to get into flow, and some days it'll be a lot of minutes to get into flow. And so you have to remember that. You have to remember it takes time to break a sweat and to really get your endorphins going and to start to feel good and willing to move. So just remembering, like, if you haven't been in your movement practice, you can ask yourself those questions of, why do I not want to just, get to that other side where I feel good to move? So that's really, every time that I've been in and out of my practice, it's been because I wasn't like really engaging that full presence. Um, and I wasn't really like finding the meaning to it, like finding my why behind that. So yeah, that's general kind of look at the values, the strength, flow, mobility, and resilience. And then also, how do we get into that? We use the body, the tools, the weights, we use assistance, and we use obstacles in the environment. Um, and I would really recommend to people starting movement practice is, don't focus so much on like, the little details or whatever. Really just ask yourself, what would be the most enjoyable form of movement for me? And also letting yourself get outside and explore, because there's a subtle difference in that. Is like, what am I focusing on? If I'm doing like a sport or a certain activity, it might be in a certain area, but getting out and exploring your area is also really helpful, to just our mind to map out the areas. It's a very primal thing. And also, there's different movement patterns that are really helpful, like crawling, climbing, jumping, balancing, lifting, carrying, throwing, and just getting the whole body involved into a movement. You're looking at those movements, and you are basically using the whole body, to balance or to get somewhere, and that is really just an awesome thing to be in tune with. Is in tune with flowing through your environment, and to add on to that, walking, hiking, running, and other forms of traveling through your environment is really helpful. So I would recommend to really find time to just go for a walk, or go explore the forest or whatever, and really explore those natural environments, because it will help you to move better through many different angles, surfaces, um, you know, temperature changes, all that stuff. You know, when you're in the winter, it's like you go into the shade and it's like not nearly as warm as being in the sun. Um, so yeah, there's all of those things that go into your practice. But I would just say, again, to get into it, again, it's really helpful to ask yourself, why am I even doing this, and what is most enjoyable to start with? Because from there you can do a lot of other things when you get into your flow state, and when you actually convince yourself through the embodied experience, um, beyond just like, continuing to stop because of your doubts or your mind, um, and your thoughts about something, your limiting beliefs. So I hope that that helps you guys. I also wanted to say, if you're gonna work on the mobility and all that, like, really give yourself time to find the things that decompress your body. Some really simple tools: foam rollers and hard rollers. This one's really hard. You can use a ball to lay on. Use one of these guys. It's like I'm pulling onto my back. Roller like this. So you could also have a partner who massages or gets into certain trigger points, or you could do it yourself. You could get into like your forearms, just finding spots in your body, and actually that will help you to release tension in your body, and then you have your enjoyable and hard work, vigorous kind of movement, and then your body often tells you, where did we put that force the most, and you'll find different areas in your body where you're tighter. You just explore those areas too. So you give those areas some love, attention, some TLC, and some breath, and just spend time also with relaxing your body. Maybe you go to the sauna, you do a hot bath, or hot cold shower right after your workout. It's pretty enjoyable. And yeah, you just find whatever modalities help you to release tension, as well as to learn how to be strong and create tension in an intentional way. So hope that helps you guys. Remember that all that you do really has a carryover effect, and it has an impact, even if it's little things every day. Just start with what you got and focus on the things that you're really good at, and focus on the good that's coming to you. So thank you for tuning in. Have a blessed evening or day wherever you are.